How's it going, everybody? This has been probably one of the worst weekends movies wise in a while. Like this whole year has been a little rough movies wise. There haven't been a few that really caught my eye or anything like that. But for multiple bad movies in one weekend, that's pretty harsh. And so if you haven't already, the other one I'm talking about was Death of a Unicorn. But we still took time out of our days to go see this movie, so you don't have to unless you really want to. And that is the latest film from David Ayer, which is A Working Man, starring Jason Statham. There are other actors in this, but who are we kidding? Once Jason Statham's in it, nobody really matters, especially in this one. This is also non-spoiler review, guys. So for those of you who did happen to watch it, give us a like if you did like this video. Ring the bell for notifications, and of course subscribe. But let's get started with this dumpster fire film. Jason Statham, how I was talking about Jenna Ortega being typecasted, he's definitely living that moment in his life. Maybe he doesn't care, and that's fine. A paycheck's a paycheck. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Oh, I mean, he's been the same guy since the very beginning. This character is no different from the Transporter.
No, he was there was the Transporter, but we also have to remember he was Spy. Okay, that movie was great, and that was easily one of his best roles because he was genuinely funny in it.
Yeah, I mean, he played a parody of himself, and it was great.
I flew off a plane, or I crashed my car that was on fire. Not the car, I was on fire. I had to tear this arm and reattach it with this other arm. It's like, what? Anyways, we're getting distracted. So he is Jason Statham, literally a construction guy, minding his own business. But when the daughter of his boss's daughter essentially gets kidnapped, they summon him to basically find her because, they just know he's former military, retired spec ops soldier. And while he doesn't want to go into that life, he does it because he cares. Again, just typical thing. Not good, though. Beekeeper last year was a very big surprise because, like this movie, I thought, oh, Jesus Christ, Jason Statham, gonna take down a whole syndicate or all this stuff. Doesn't want to do the work, but he does it anyways. But that was actually good. This one, not good whatsoever. I'm sorry. There's very few, if no, redeeming qualities to this. And I don't mean to be a jerk by bashing it or anything. So for those of you who did like it, forgive me, but this is just not a movie I would support whatsoever. But hey, everybody do themselves, but not good whatsoever. Just bad all around. Bern, how do you feel about this? Am I the villain right now? Am I those guys that Jason Statham needs to go after?
Well, if he's coming after you, then he's coming after me too. Because, yeah, I did not like this movie at all. And it's unfortunate because, look, I mean, this is the second outing of the pairing of, David Ayer and Jason Statham, were, like you mentioned, last year The Beekeeper was a pretty big surprise because that movie turned out to be a lot of fun and it had some really good action, ridiculous premise, but it all sort of worked in that sort of tongue-in-cheek action movie, B-movie type of thing. And yeah, they made it work for that one. So when I heard, they were doing this one and I saw the trailer, I was like, all right, cool, I'm in for another one of those. I wish it would have had a sequel, but, I'll take this, a spiritual successor to that, where you still have Jason Statham. He's gonna come in there. He's gonna say, someone's gonna be like, "Who are you?" And he's gonna be like, "I'm just a working man," and then kill someone with a power drill or something. I thought that's what we were getting, but it was not what we got at all.
You have power drill.
I just wanted to see Jason Statham killing people with a bunch of power tools, Like, I thought that's what we were getting, but we could have gotten nothing more different. This is just a complete slog to get through. And it's kind of ridiculous, too, because Sylvester Stallone co-wrote this movie. And this has some of the worst dialogue that I have ever heard in a movie. It's one of those movies that you have fun thinking about how bad it was, but when you're watching it, it's not a fun bad movie. It's just a bad movie where the plot is just a slog to get through. This movie comes in just under 2 hours. and it feels its length. Sometimes it feels longer than that because the story just has no momentum to it. The action sequences aren't fun. Like we mentioned, the tone of this movie takes itself way too seriously. Whereas in the Beekeeper, it was quick. It had a fun tone, and the action sequences were all good. So again, everything that movie did that made it work, it's like they went the complete opposite for some reason, and it didn't work in this movie. And yeah, like you mentioned, just really no redeeming qualities to think of when it comes to watching this movie. And I mean, this feels like one of those boomer action movies. The people in my theater were a lot of older folks,
Oh
and
shit.
and when the movie ended, you could just feel that disappointment. This just kind of wasn't fun to go through, and maybe they had some enjoyment along the way, but overall, that you just feel the vibe that this one just didn't work for people, and definitely didn't work for me.
No, there was only like one or two action scenes slash moments. I would say moments because they weren't even the full scene. There was just a couple cool little shots and stuff that I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. But even then, the level of action that we got out of this movie is still not even like up there. It's essentially the new standard of action movies, thanks to like John Wick, The Raid. Beekeeper actually had some pretty above normal action, like above average. That's the right word I was thinking of. Oh, man, I can't. I'm so all over the place in my head with so much critiquing on this movie. I can't think straight because it was just disappointing overall. Like Jason Statham, like he wasn't even good in it. Unfortunately, where Beekeeper, Wrath of Man, all these other revenge stories that he's done, way better. Not even close. I think Wrath of Man is still his best movie, like recent movie so far. Um, and everybody else in it. It had even David Harbour, who is a blind guy who has his Oakleys and a cool beard, and yeah, he's just worthless. The dialogue between them is just so simple and straightforward. It's not even good. It's just, yeah, that was crazy. You got to do it. Go get him, man. It's like, what the hell is this? And then how you said it's almost 2 hours long. Like, it was 2 hours too long, man. So yeah, I'm giving this movie a hard 1 out of 5, and I don't give those a whole lot. And even to some that we've debated on where you really liked it, I'm like, no, I didn't, man. I feel like the last one I felt really bad for doing that was Talk to Me, but I just couldn't stand that movie. I gotta rewatch it though. But yeah, this is just I can't recommend this whatsoever. Like, I thought David Ayer was coming back to form with Beekeeper last year. Now I'm a little worried, but maybe it has something to do with Sly getting involved because he's losing his touch, man. Like anything he's attached to, he's not even really in creative control. He's just there. So yeah, definitely don't recommend it. But if you did want to watch it, do a $5 Tuesday. Do that favor to yourself. Save some money if you can, because I guarantee you, not like 99% of you are gonna watch this and thought, I could have seen something different today. And yeah, you could have. I would rather go watch Death of a Unicorn again than watch this movie, and I did not care for that one either. So
Yeah, it's one of those where it's like I'd rather watch other bad movies than this. Because like I said, there's bad fun movies and there's just bad boring movies, and this is a bad boring movie. Unfortunately, yeah, none of it really worked for me, and that's disappointing because I really enjoyed their last pairing together. And yeah, I mean, like Sylvester Stallone hasn't really done anything of note for maybe like 20 years already, so his name doesn't hold that same sort of prestige as it used to, at least not for me. So yeah, this is one that I really can't recommend to anyone unless they just kind of want to kill time, I guess. But I think there's better movies to kill time with, so I wouldn't even recommend a theater for this one. Wait for it to come on streaming so you can kind of half watch it while you're on your phone or something, because there's just nothing here for me to say that was good in any way, and that's unfortunate. So yeah, for me, this is going to be a 1 out of 5, and I don't want to give that score, but that is the score that this movie deserves, because yeah, I just did not enjoy my time watching this one at all.
yeah, like this movie essentially tried to be like Equalizer, Taken, and John Wick all into one, and it failed on all of those fronts. That says a lot because actually all three of those are pretty great movies. Um, this is a type of movie I would say you're at like a kickback somewhere. You don't really know everybody, but it's on. It's just there because some people like it. or it's a movie that you're so you just took a nice hit of your pen or your bong, you get the munchies, and you're like, what am I gonna watch just to pass the time? And you're scrolling, and it's like, A Working Man, let me check that out. But then after that wears off, it's like, man, I don't think I could rewatch that movie. It's like, yeah, definitely don't.
Or it's just probably one you picked on accident.
This is the room of action movies, okay? The Tommy Wiseau, The Room, not the one with Brie Larson, which everybody gets confused with. Anyways, for those of you who did happen to watch this movie, please let us know your thoughts. If we're being too harsh, again, I apologize, but that's just how we feel.
Maybe not harsh enough.
I don't know. I could go way harsher, but I pulled it back.
Yeah, same.
Until next time, everybody, stay bodacious and keep on ranting more.
Be good, be safe. We'll catch you on the next one.